Imagine standing alone in the middle of the Egyptian desert. No cities, no cars, no sound except the wind moving across endless waves of sand. Above you, the night sky stretches farther than you can comprehend. Thousands of stars burn in total darkness. But among all of them, 3 stars immediately capture your attention. 3 bright lights, perfectly aligned, almost unnatural in their precision. Now imagine discovering that thousands of years ago, ancient civilizations across Earth may have built gigantic monuments pointing directly toward those same 3 stars. Not one civilization, not 2, but cultures separated by oceans, continents, languages, and thousands of years of history. And somehow, they all seemed obsessed with the exact same part of the sky. Why? How did they know about these alignments without telescopes, satellites, or modern astronomy? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all, what if the pyramids were never meant to be just tombs? Because the deeper researchers looked into this mystery, the stranger the evidence became. For generations, historians told us the pyramids were simply burial monuments. Massive stone structures built to honor dead kings and rulers. But then researchers started measuring things. Angles, distances, star positions. And what they found created one of the greatest mysteries in human history. The 3 pyramids of Giza in Egypt appear to mirror the 3 stars of Orion's belt with shocking accuracy. 1 pyramid slightly offset, 2 nearly aligned, exactly like the stars above them. At first, many scientists dismissed it as coincidence. But then more discoveries appeared. Ancient structures in Mexico showed astronomical alignments. Temples in Cambodia aligned with celestial events. Pyramids in China displayed strange orientation patterns connected to the heavens. Even ancient sites in South America revealed impossible knowledge of the stars. And suddenly one terrifying possibility emerged. What if ancient civilizations were connected by knowledge we no longer understand? Because here's the part most people never realize. The ancient world was obsessed with the sky. To ancient civilizations, the stars were not just lights in space. They were maps, messages, warnings, gateways. The Egyptians believed the soul of the pharaoh traveled to Orion after death. The Maya tracked celestial cycles with astonishing precision. The Sumerians described gods descending from the heavens. Again and again, across different cultures, humanity kept returning to the stars, especially Orion. But why Orion? Why did this specific constellation become so important across human history? Some historians believe Orion represented power and rebirth. Others think it symbolized the afterlife. But alternative researchers believe something much stranger. They claim ancient civilizations may have inherited knowledge from an unknown source, a source connected to astronomy far beyond what ancient people should have understood. And when people started studying the Great Pyramid more closely, the mystery became even deeper. Hidden inside the Great Pyramid are narrow shafts leading upward through the stone. For years, nobody understood their purpose. They were too small for humans to pass through, too precise to be random. Then researchers discovered something astonishing. Some of these shafts point directly toward ancient star positions associated with Orion's belt. Think about that for a moment. Thousands of years ago, without modern computers or advanced instruments, ancient builders created internal structures aligned with celestial objects in the sky. How? Even today, engineers debate how such precision was possible. And the more people investigated, the more impossible things seemed to appear. The Great Pyramid is aligned almost perfectly with true north. Not magnetic north. True north. Modern builders struggle to achieve this kind of accuracy without advanced tools. Yet ancient civilizations accomplished it thousands of years ago. How did they measure it? How did they calculate it? And why were they so obsessed with precision? Because maybe these structures were never random monuments. Maybe they were part of something much larger. Now here's where the mystery becomes truly disturbing. Some researchers believe ancient sacred sites around Earth form massive geometric patterns when viewed from above. Pyramids, temples, ancient ruins. Many appear connected through strange alignments across the planet itself, almost as if ancient civilizations were building according to a hidden blueprint. But that raises another terrifying question. Who created the blueprint? Because history tells us ancient civilizations developed separately, yet many of them shared nearly identical beliefs about the stars. Coincidence? Or evidence of forgotten contact? Imagine living thousands of years ago. No electricity, no modern science, no telescopes, and yet somehow, people tracked celestial movements with incredible precision. The Maya calculated astronomical cycles so accurately that modern scientists remain shocked by their knowledge. The Egyptians aligned structures with mathematical perfection. Ancient builders moved stones weighing hundreds of tons. Even today, some engineers cannot fully explain how such enormous construction projects were completed with primitive tools. And that's exactly why theories began spreading. Some people believe lost civilizations existed long before recorded history. Advanced cultures destroyed by floods, disasters, or war. Others believe knowledge was passed between civilizations through forgotten networks. And then there are the theories that sound almost impossible. Theories suggesting humanity may not have discovered the stars alone, because throughout ancient history, stories repeat again and again. Beings descending from the sky, gods bringing knowledge, teachers arriving from the heavens. Almost every civilization has myths connected to celestial visitors. The Egyptians had Ra and Osiris. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki. The Maya described gods connected to the stars. Different names, different cultures, but strangely similar stories. Could all of them simply be myths? Maybe. But then why do so many ancient monuments align with astronomical precision? And why were ancient people so determined to connect Earth with the sky? Some researchers believe the pyramids may have functioned as symbolic gateways between Earth and the heavens. Not physical gateways, but spiritual ones. To ancient Egyptians, death was not the end. It was a journey, and Orion represented the destination. The pharaoh's soul would ascend into the stars to join the gods. That belief was so important that entire monuments may have been designed around it. But there's another layer to this mystery most people never hear about. The stars themselves move over time. Because of Earth's slow wobble, known as precession, constellations gradually shift positions across thousands of years. And when researchers calculated the ancient sky thousands of years ago, they discovered something fascinating. The Orion alignment may have matched the sky even more accurately in the distant past, far older than the official construction dates of the pyramids. And that discovery changed everything. Because if the alignment corresponds to an older era, then where did the knowledge come from? Did ancient Egyptians inherit information from an earlier civilization? A civilization now lost to history? Many people immediately dismiss this idea. But history has already proven that entire civilizations can disappear. Think about Atlantis. For centuries, people believed it was only a myth. Yet today, underwater ruins and lost cities continue to be discovered around the world. Entire cultures buried beneath oceans and jungles. What if humanity's past is far more complicated than we realize? What if advanced knowledge existed long before modern civilization? And what if fragments of that knowledge survived through monuments like the pyramids? Because the pyramids are not just impressive structures. They are mathematical mysteries. The Great Pyramid contains astonishing numerical relationships connected to Earth itself. Its dimensions appear linked to the planet's size and geometry. Some researchers claim the speed of light is encoded within its measurements. Others believe the structure contains hidden mathematical constants. Of course, many scientists argue these patterns are coincidences, but the sheer number of strange alignments keeps people questioning. How many coincidences become too many? And perhaps the strangest thing of all, we still do not fully understand how the pyramids were built. Yes, mainstream historians explain the construction using ramps, manpower, and engineering. But many details remain debated. How were multi-ton stones transported with such precision? How were they lifted enormous heights? How did ancient builders create nearly perfect alignment without modern technology? Even now, some researchers believe pieces of the puzzle are missing, and hidden chambers inside the pyramids continue to fuel speculation. Because despite centuries of exploration, many areas remain sealed or unexplained. Modern scanning technology has revealed mysterious voids hidden deep within the Great Pyramid. Large, empty spaces no one can fully explain. What's inside them? Additional chambers? Ancient records? Nothing at all. Nobody knows. And that uncertainty keeps the mystery alive. Now let me ask you something. If humanity today disappeared completely, and another civilization discovered our ruins thousands of years later, what would they think? Would they fully understand our technology, our beliefs, our intentions? Probably not. They would interpret everything through fragments. And maybe that's exactly what we're doing with ancient civilizations. Maybe we are seeing only broken pieces of a much larger story. A story written in stone, hidden beneath sand, and mapped into the stars. But here's where things become even more unsettling. The Orion mystery isn't limited to Egypt. In Mexico, the ancient city of Teotihuacan displays astronomical alignments connected to celestial events. The Temple of Kukulkan in Chichen Itza creates a serpent-shaped shadow during the equinox. Stonehenge aligns with the solstice sunrise. Again and again, ancient structures across Earth appear connected to the sky. Why were ancient people so obsessed with celestial alignment? Was astronomy simply part of religion? Or was there another reason? Some believe the stars served as a universal language, a way for civilizations to preserve knowledge across generations. After all, kingdoms fall, empires collapse, languages disappear, but the stars remain. Maybe ancient builders encoded information into monuments because they knew the sky would outlive human history. And perhaps those monuments were warnings, or maps, or messages intended for future civilizations. But messages about what? That's the question nobody can answer. And every discovery seems to create even more mysteries. In recent years, archaeologists uncovered hidden chambers, underground tunnels, and unexplained structures near ancient sites. Some discoveries support mainstream history. Others raise uncomfortable questions. Questions about how much of humanity's past has been lost or hidden, because history is not as complete as we like to believe. Entire libraries were destroyed. Ancient texts vanished in wars and fires. Knowledge disappeared with civilizations. What survived may only be a fraction of the truth. Imagine how different human history might look if even one lost library survived intact. What secrets would we discover? Would we learn that ancient civilizations possessed greater astronomical knowledge than we ever imagined? Would we discover forgotten maps of the heavens? Or evidence that humanity's connection to the stars goes far deeper than modern science admits? And maybe that's why this mystery fascinates millions of people around the world. Because deep down, we feel something unsettling when we look at the pyramids. A sense that they were built for more than we understand. Think about the scale of these structures. Millions of stone blocks, extreme precision, astronomical alignment, enduring thousands of years. Why would ancient people invest unimaginable resources into structures connected to the stars? What was so important about Orion? Was it religion? Power? Science? Or something humanity has completely forgotten? Now, imagine the moment the pyramids were first completed. The polished white limestone shining under the sun. The golden capstones reflecting light into the desert. And at night, the stars above them, perfectly aligned. Maybe ancient priests stood there watching Orion rise into the sky. Maybe ceremonies were performed beneath those stars. Maybe they believed the heavens were alive. Or maybe they knew something we no longer remember. And here's the most haunting possibility of all. What if the pyramids were not pointing toward the stars, but trying to communicate with them? Crazy? Maybe. But remember, ancient people did not see the universe the way we do. To them, The boundary between gods, stars, and reality was often blurred. The heavens were not empty space. They were alive with meaning. And even in the modern world, we still don't fully understand the universe around us. Dark matter, black holes, unknown cosmic signals. Scientists continue discovering mysteries in space every year. So perhaps we should be careful before assuming ancient civilizations knew nothing. Because sometimes the greatest mistake in history is underestimating the intelligence of the past. And maybe that's why the pyramids continue to captivate humanity. Not because we know their secrets, but because we don't. Every stone feels intentional. Every alignment feels deliberate. Every unanswered question pulls us deeper into the mystery. And somewhere beneath the sands of Egypt, hidden inside ancient chambers or encoded in forgotten symbols, there may still be truths waiting to be uncovered. Truths about the stars, about ancient civilizations, and maybe even about humanity itself. So the next time you look up at Orion's belt, those three stars shining silently across the darkness, remember this. Thousands of years ago, ancient civilizations looked at those same stars and believed they mattered enough to build monuments that would survive for eternity. The real question is not whether the pyramids align with Orion. The real question is why humanity was so desperate to preserve that connection. And until we answer that, the pyramids will remain one of the greatest mysteries ever built.